Welcome to the Soulful Mystics podcast. I'm Steph.
And I'm Julie, and we are intuitive hypnotists, sharing our journey along the way. Welcome back to the Soulful Mystics podcast. I'm Julie, one of the co-hosts of this pod. Steph and I are so excited to continue sharing her journey through healing her ancestral lineage. Before we dive into the episode, I wanted to share a few things we are really excited about. First up, October is right around the corner. We're planning a special October episode packed with listener stories, chilling encounters, spiritual awakenings, and even family folklore. So, if you have a spooky tale to share, we would love to hear it. Please send us your stories to soulfulmysticspodcast@gmail.com or DM us on social media. Now for some other exciting news, Steph just launched her incredible spiritual mentorship program. This 12-session program is totally customizable, allowing you to craft a path that aligns with your specific needs. From hypnotic journeys to personalized support sessions, there's something for everyone. For those seeking guidance, check it out at soulfulstephanie.com. And as a personal recipient of Steph's support, I can honestly say you will be met with such love in a deeply supportive, non-judgmental space that will help you open up to your true, authentic self. Remember, both Steph and I offer distance Reiki and free consultations. Plus, you can use coupon code SMP10 for 10% off all of our services at soulfulstephanie.com and soulseekerhypnosis.com. I'm thrilled to announce a new group event. I'll be hosting Secrets of the Ancestors with Sarah Neville at Moon and Stone in Sturgeon Bay. This immersive ceremony combines hypnosis, sound healing, and ancestral rituals to help you tap into your lineage's wisdom and heal generational wounds. It's a chance to embark on a truly transformative journey together. Spaces are limited, so if you're local, be sure to register at moon-and-stone.com. Links for all of these new offerings will be provided in the show notes. You know, it's really fascinating how things seem to align in the universe. Sarah and I planned this event a while back, but Steph has been having her own ancestral healing experiences lately, learning more about her roots in High Falls, Quebec. In fact, ancestral healing seems to be a common theme these days. Even our kinship group with Gina of Past Lives and the Divine has been discussing it. It just goes to show the importance of healing our past to move forward with ease and grace. And on that note, Steph is ready to share her own hypnotic exploration of her ancestors from High Falls, Quebec. Join us for an episode packed with ancestral wisdom and personal insights. We hope you enjoy the episode. In the heart of this clearing stands a large ancient tree, an ancestor tree. Its branches stretch up to the sky, while its roots reach deep into the earth, holding the wisdom of countless generations. This tree symbolizes your connection to your ancestors. Approach it now and feel its powerful energy surrounding you, reminding you that you are connected to all who came before you. Now, standing before the tree, you sense a presence emerging from the shadows of time, a guide stepping forward to greet you. This is your ancestral guide, someone who carries the wisdom and experiences of your lineage. They come to you now, ready to share their insights, healing, and their love. Take in the details of this guide, their essence, their energy. And Steph, what are you aware of here?
Well, three popped up, but one of them is more vivid, I'd say. She has this really old gown on, like a corset type with a puffy dress and a hat, and she looks like really young, like in her late teens, I'd say.
Good.
I think she's introducing herself to me. The other
Okay.
two are my great-grandparents that I did meet when
Okay.
I was really young, but they are kind of to the back and on the side, allowing her to meet me.
Beautiful. And does she have a name?
Pauline, Pauline.
And so, what message does she have for you at this moment?
She's telling me that the women in our family are very strong and
Mm,
that she's proud of all the accomplishments that we were able to bring forward into the family line.
beautiful. Good. And before we move forward, is there anything that she would like you to know about the journey or any other messages?
That I might not get all the answers. I want specifics, but that keeping an open mind to receiving those messages and then allowing the information to unfold as
Mm.
it was meant to be is going to be key.
Beautiful. So now, as you stand before the ancestor tree, your guide motions toward the tree's trunk. And to your surprise, you notice a doorway intricately woven into the bark, glowing with a soft, welcoming light. This is the doorway to your past life, one that holds the key to help heal and begin to restore balance within your life and your ancestral lineage. Your guide steps forward, offering their hand as a gesture of support. Now, feeling a sense of safety and trust, you take her hand, knowing she will lead you with care and protection. Together, you approach the doorway, and as your guide opens it, a luminous tunnel of shimmering light stretches out before you. Observe your surroundings, the landscape, or any people that might be around you. Notice the details of this time and place that you have arrived in. You may recognize faces, landscapes, or symbols that begin to reveal themselves. Allow your guide to show you the moments in this past life that carry the wisdom or healing you are here to uncover as you explore this lifetime. And now, are you inside or outside?
Outside.
Good. And what are you aware of here outside?
I'm among a crowd of people getting onto a boat.
Good. And do you know why you're getting on a boat or where you're headed?
We're leaving our country and we're moving with very little of our things. Like, I don't see very many luggages or that anybody has. I think it's really just like one luggage per family. And the way it feels is sad, but also there's some nerves, but there's excitement for a new start. And
Beautiful.
I feel like I'm a kid, like I'm young, I'm a child, but I'm with two sisters and my parents.
Good. And now, do you know what country you're leaving?
I think it's Germany, but it's Prussia,
Mm,
West Prussia.
okay, good. And if you can just bring your awareness to yourself, do you know how old you might be, what your name is, what you're wearing? What details stand out to you?
I'm in a dress. It feels like olden times, like 1800s dresses and almost like not ballet slipper type shoes, but something similar to that. And my hair is in like pigtails. I have ribbons in them that my mom put, and I think I'm like maybe 12. Feels young.
Okay,
Could be younger.
good. Do you know what your name is?
I'm not sure.
Okay, and that's okay. And what do you know about your family, your sisters, your parents? If you can bring your awareness to each of them, what do you know about them?
Everyone's very quiet, but when I look at my dad, I feel like he feels like my hero, like he feels
Hmm,
safe and like we trust him and his grand idea to move us away from this place and to leave everything behind, even though it wasn't like we were poor. It felt like we were almost well off, but the life there wasn't what he imagined for his family, and he wanted something more free. And he just seems to have a lot of really great ideas and follows through with them. And my mom seems like very supportive. She's very loving, nurturing, and supportive, but she also seems really young.
good. And so, if you were to bring your awareness, your focus on your dad, do you get a sense of what his name is or any details that stand out to you?
He has a beard. I think his name is Martin, and she's my guide. She's the one who met me.
Oh, so the mom is your guide?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And how old is she? You said she looks young.
She looks like in her 20s, like early 20. They both look really young to have 3 kids and be moving.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's just my perception,
Yeah,
whereas when I was that age, I probably thought they looked old.
sure. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And what do you know about your two sisters? Where do you fit within them? Are you the oldest? Are you younger? Like, what do you know about your siblings?
We are pretty much like we're all very similar in age, like 1 year apart, maybe. I feel like I might be in the middle. They're really hard to connect with, and I'm not sure why.
Okay. And that might come to light later, and that's okay. Good. So, what else are you aware of? Do you know where you're headed?
Well, based on what my dad is telling me, is that we're going to Canada. But if this is the family that I've recently heard of, then they were coming here to Bowman, to High Falls, Quebec.
Okay.
But they don't see it as, they just say Canada.
Okay, good. All right. And so, what else are you aware of here?
There's a boy, and I'm in love with him.
Aw. And is
It's
he on the boat?
Yeah, he's coming. It's really funny to be thinking about marriage at
Mm.
that age, but I guess that might have been normal back then, but I don't know. He's with another family and we're all going to the same place. I don't know if we're going to the same exact place in Canada, but we are taking the same boat to the same destination.
Okay, good. And does this boy have a name?
I'm feeling like it starts with a G, like Gregor, or something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay, good. What else do you know?
Well, we're getting on that boat, and it's like there's this almost like a table at the gate, and you have to like sign in.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's where you pay, but my dad is signing us in and we're just waiting to get the okay that we can go. And the boat seems like it's kind of scary to look at. I don't think I've ever been on a boat before, or I don't think anyone in my family has been. So it's something very new and different. And we were told that we might have to like prepare for a rough ride,
Mm.
that it's not living in luxury or living like we are used to on this voyage.
Yeah. And sometimes boats or ships, they have a name written on them. Do you see a name of the boat or what it's called written or painted anywhere on it?
I see something in red, almost like red paint, but I don't see it's more like a symbol, I guess, but it feels chipped. And yeah, I'm not even sure what kind of boat this is. It's definitely not a Titanic type boat,
Sure.
but it's like I could see it. I don't even know how to describe. Like it has that kind of balcony area that, you can stand on and wave goodbye to the people on shore.
Okay.
But it doesn't go much higher than that.
Okay. Good. And what happens next?
We get on the boat and we go down some steps, it feels like. And it seems my dad is telling us stories about what's to come, like these grandiose stories of how our life is going to be, I guess, just getting us excited to change our mind from any fear we might be having.
Oh, that's very sweet of him. Good. And is there anything else that stands out to you in this scene?
No, it's kind of like a fast forward of that boat ride, and even arriving is kind of all a blur.
Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is move to another important moment in this past life. You may be older or younger, but you're moving to another significant memory in this lifetime that will help you bring healing and balance to your life and your ancestral lineage. So easily and effortlessly, just allowing the details to unfold with each breath and each heartbeat. Just allow these details of this new scene to be clearer, more vivid, and real. And whenever you're ready, just let me know what you're aware of here.
We are given I guess it's a plot of land, it feels like, and we're just exploring it. It's a big land. And so my sisters and I are just kind of running around exploring it.
Good. And how do you feel in this moment exploring this new land?
It's exciting. It's something very different from what we're used to. Yeah, it feels new and exciting.
Good. And what else are you aware of?
I feel like it's new. I don't know, it feels like something we're not really used to, so we're learning and possibly getting in trouble a little bit because of not trouble, but like it doesn't feel like people are very kind, and so we're told to keep like we're basically only allowed to talk to the people who are like us and who came here with us.
I see. Good. And how's Dad? How is he feeling in this moment with this new plot of land?
He seems a bit stressed, like just he's working really hard and we don't see him as much, but he's doing well. And I feel like making these dreams come true for us is like I could sense some pride in what he's doing for himself, but it's something completely different from what he's used to. Like, I feel like we're farming and he doesn't really have experience doing that, but he's such a hard worker that he figures it out. And my mom is doing like making clothing. I feel like this might be a couple years after settling in, but like we have some animals and she's making clothes and trying to sell it to locals and happy in a sense of we accomplished it, but really like they're working really, really hard. I feel like my name is Emma. I just hear that's my niece's name, but I hear someone calling Emma, and then I'm in this field playing with or trying to play with like the little animals, the little critters, and I just feel myself kind of like poking my head above the field, and I can see I could see the family just there, and my mom is pregnant.
Okay, good, good. And so, do you know what your mom and dad used to do for work before you came to Canada?
It's something creative, like with glass. So he used to just be in this workshop. I could see him in this workshop with fire, and he has these like almost like sand-like stuff, and he would make really beautiful pieces of glass, like to put in a church or, those colorful.
Oh, like stained glass?
Yeah, something like that. And
Good.
also making like vases and I don't know that he's still doing that, maybe because he doesn't have the proper tools and equipment here because he wasn't able to bring it, but he's like a farmer now or trying to. I don't know if it's to live off of the land or if it's to really sell and make a profit, but I can see he's like outside all day long working like hard labor.
Good. And what else are you aware of in this scene, playing in this field? What other important details come to mind?
Well, we have neighbors and like pretty far off. And those neighbors are also people who came on the boat with us. And so I feel like I had developed a closeness with that family, or my whole family has developed some kind of relationship there. And I feel like just the mundane daily activities would be just to like get on a horse and carriage and go to church every day and just be surrounded by the people who came here with us. I don't really feel there's much interaction with anyone else, any of the locals here. So it's really keeping to ourselves on this farm. I don't even know if we went to like a regular school. So it's like a very mundane kind of life. feels like nothing really exciting happened.
Yeah, good. And do you feel as though this scene is complete and would you like to move on?
Yeah, it feels like it's all the same kind of
Okay.
repetition, but
Sure. Yeah. All right. So now let's move to another memory from this past life. Effortlessly, easily, you will find yourself there in 3, 2, and 1. Noticing now how easily the details come into focus, clearer and more vivid than they were before. You're perfectly safe as you explore this memory. And whenever you're ready, let me know what you're aware of here.
I feel like I'm like in my, I guess I'd be my age, like in my mid 30s. And I'm just sitting there with my mom and she's really upset and I feel like I keep seeing like, I don't know if it's because I saw this part of their story, but that my dad was at home and then he said he was going to a meeting and then he just didn't come back and he's been gone. And my mom thinks that it was done intentionally, so she doesn't. I feel like we are a spiritual, at least the women are a little bit spiritual, and she says she feels his soul isn't with us anymore. But then I'm kind of like brought out of this past life memory,
Okay.
and she is back in the age of like the 20-year-old that I met at first before going into the tree. And she's telling me that there's a lot more to this story, but to focus more on the journey of the family, because this tragic incident unfortunately left a pretty big mark on the kids, specifically the boys, like their sons, and then that basically she's showing me this trend of the generational trauma, how like this happened and we lost a really amazing human being and a big part of this family, and the dreamer and the man who was always positive and telling stories and bringing joy to the family, especially through really hard times. And once we lost him, a lot of the pressure fell on the sons, which created this dynamic of the men or the boys didn't really feel like they could grieve. They just had to like get put into action. And she's telling me that this is a part of the journey. You know, yes, the women were really strong in our family, but the men were very strong in their own right. And it's like all of the burdens that they had to feel, I could feel that weight. And whereas, I don't know, there's like something about when you cross over, the women tend to have an easier time releasing that baggage and releasing that weight and that guilt and regret, and are able to kind of cross over a little bit easier, which is why she's showing me that yes, women in our family at least are pushing the boundaries of healing and evolving and moving into the spiritual space, but that we're also meant to continue to help heal and support the men, because they need that support, and they need that healing and loving, nurturing energy that we can bring to them. And so she's just showing me that this is a part of the path of healing myself, but also the men in my family.
I see. And so, what can you do today? And maybe Pauline can help with this, but what can you do today to help the men release that burden?
She said it's going to start with Carl, which is my great great grandfather. So this man, Martin, that we saw as my father in that life, was his son. So my brother, he was my younger brother. And I don't know if I was actually that soul, but it feels like I was.
Okay.
And I don't know how he passed. I don't know his life, but he has so much burden. And I feel like he might still be around here. So what she's asking me to do is, it might not happen today and now, but I think that's what she was referring to in the beginning, that just by working to connect with him and his soul, even just by going for a walk and calling his name specifically and asking him to join me, because she said it's going to take some coaxing. It's going to take time and patience and love and nurturing. And she's showing me that that's how that's how it starts. And by me doing that work, I'm going to be inviting more of the women in the family, but also showing the men that the burden is not theirs to carry, and showing them that light. And so I could see this whole group of spirits, of ancestors that are ready to join me in connecting with him. And she seems happy and excited that I'm willing to do this work, and that she does feel like he will want to come forward, but that it will take time. And I feel like one-on-one calling his name, like there's something there that, again, I'm not really aware of, but he's, I don't know, I'm not ready, or just kind of observing to see what we're doing, or who I am, or I don't know. He's a very unknown character.
Is there any advice that Pauline can give you as to how to honor him, to make him feel more comfortable to step forward to do this work?
Gratitude. So gratitude for his sacrifice and everything that he's been through. So acknowledgement and gratitude, not only to him, but also his father, and the work that they did to create that beautiful life that they had envisioned. And even though it didn't turn out the way that they had planned, they still did all that work, and they deserve that recognition. So definitely gratitude and validating how far he allowed his bloodline to evolve.
Good, beautiful. And so, are there any lessons that you can take back with you today from this family, this lifetime? Anything that will help you continue to grow and evolve? What have you learned from them?
That no matter how hard life gets, there's always that light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to believe in it, and you have to believe that you are worth achieving it, because you are, everyone is, and to just shoot for the stars and go for it.
Beautiful. And so, this lesson in particular of no matter how hard life gets, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. How does that specifically apply to your life today?
That through those hard times, pulling myself out of those difficult times, even though it felt like it was impossible, once I was able to pull myself out, it proved that I can overcome anything. I can overcome any feeling or trauma or experience by leaning on the people that are around me, and also by choosing to put myself above those feelings by doing something like self-care when you're feeling like crap, like you're choosing yourself. And that's one of the greatest lessons I think that I was able to learn, and to just keep pushing forward with that mentality.
Good. And is there anything else that your guide wishes to share with you about your ancestors, your lineage, or anything significant for your growth and evolution in this time, or for their healing of that ancestral lineage?
That there is a lot more to come. There's a lot more going to be entering my awareness as I continue to grow, and I continue to look into it and do this ancestral work, and that everything leads to healing and advancement. It's really just about learning, and by learning and reading about these stories, or calling them forward, it's strengthening that bloodline.
Beautiful. And Steph, do you have any questions that you would like to ask your guide?
I think more like a request. So the request would be to enter this physical space and my physical awareness, to bring more signs and synchronicities to me, to show that I'm on the right path of discovering, and the right path of career, and what I can do on this land to help heal, to continue to heal. So I feel like everything is kind of working together, but I feel lost a lot of the time. So just allowing or welcoming that physical awareness, like a sign that is in my physical awareness, for me to know that I'm on the right path, or that I don't miss anything.
Yeah, good. That's beautiful. And what does Pauline have to say to that?
She says that there's no way for me to miss it, but by being present in the moment, I will see and hear or experience more of those signs, because they're always showing them. It's really just about getting out of my head and being mindful and present in the moment.
Beautiful. And before we come back, is there anything that she requests of you when it comes to doing this work? Whether it's doing something specific, a specific practice to honor them, or if there's something she wants you to be aware of or careful of, is there any insights that she can provide to you that you need to know as you continue on this journey?
To keep gardening, and when I'm gardening, to call upon Martin and Carl because they are very connected to this land via gardening and nature, and that she feels like that would be a really good step for myself to connect with my father figure male ancestors.
I love the way you talked about Martin, like how you felt his energy. Do you feel that now that you've kind of experienced his energy through this hypnosis, if you sense him around, do you think you might pick up or know that it might be him based on
Yeah, I
that?
think so. I think so because it was a very prominent feeling, and I think there was a reason why she had me feel that.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
so too.
yeah. I'll let
Aw.
you know if ever I do.
Yeah, I better be your first
Yeah.
to tell. Duh.
Yeah, that it was really like I didn't expect that, honestly,
Yeah,
because the way that I viewed it, and this could just be prejudice of, you know,
yeah.
was that they were really like stern and not serious kind of people. So it was nice to feel that energy and to just kind of like release that idea. And it makes sense that, maybe they didn't feel comfortable where they were, and they wanted to live a more like mundane kind of farming life.
Yeah.
Seemed like he was into that.
I love that he was like a creative and also like you described him as a dreamer, which I love. You can see traits of yourself in that too because you're a dreamer and you're creative. And he might have done like stained glass and things like that, but that's art and you are creative and you do art and you make beautiful things.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I thought that was like super cool.
Yeah, so maybe I'll invite him when I do my art and crafty stuff.
Oh my God, yeah. Like why not? I mean, you're on this land for a reason. You're doing creative things, you're gardening. I think that would be super cool. And maybe the more you invite him in, the more comfortable he'll get with you. And maybe you'll start to uncover and connect with him about what really happened to him.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if maybe today was just building that initial connection.
Yeah, like I feel like it would be easier for me to connect with him, with Martin, and it
Yeah.
was more difficult for me in that moment to connect with the siblings, which
Yeah.
is the man. So Carl, the one that like I really couldn't get anything on.
Hmm.
I think by connecting with Martin, like that's kind of the way in with the other one. And
Yeah.
I do feel like he has a lot of that more dense energy. So, yeah, whereas Martin was more kind of light and
Yeah.
yeah. So I am curious to see how building that connection goes. I'm pretty sure with him it would be a lot easier. So start with the easy.
Yeah. Okay. So there's something in my head that I just need to say because this thought won't go away. I just got chilled. Do you have an altar dedicated directly to your ancestors?
No.
I think you're supposed to make one.
Yeah.
And of course, you have your free will. This is just that this thought keeps coming to me and it won't leave. And it's 3:33 right now. I think if you're drawn to continuing to work with them and uncover the mysteries and connect with them on like such a spiritual level, I feel like an ancestor altar is going
Yeah.
to be like a really good way. You're so creative in that you'll come up with your own beautiful way of doing it. But
Yeah.
like the altar just keeps like that was repeating in my mind like over and over when you were talking to her at the end.
I think
So
it's a good idea. And my auntie has so many things from my great grandparents. So my
oh,
great grandpa is from this lineage, the Woodstocks, and his wife, she passed a lot older, and my auntie was there holding her hand when she passed. Like, they have a really strong connection, and she has so many like things of theirs, and she's coming here with my mom one day, so we can go find the local historical woman here, who is a chess lock. She's married to a chess lock. The chess locks in this town were on the boat with us.
No freaking way.
Yeah, and I went to school with two of them, and but I don't have them on Facebook because we weren't really close, but like I knew of them and we talked every once in a while. And the Cheslocks actually here have a really successful farmland, so they were probably one of the only German settlers that actually pushed through with everything that happened and made success out of it. I was told by someone who I was asking around, and I was told, oh, go find Barb. She's like, they told me how to get to her house.
Oh my God.
We can buy eggs from her and then just ask her to tell us the stories. And she apparently has all of the stories. So my auntie and my mom and I are going to go. And so I'll ask my auntie to bring me some things of theirs so I can make that altar. And I have like photos that I can print up because I do want to have those photos. I can't really picture what they look like in their prime years. I just remember what they look like as they were aging. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Altars are always a good idea.
Yeah, I love it. And like, I don't know, I've just like seen your photos and stuff. Like, you create such beautiful ones, and it's just a beautiful way to welcome them into your space.
Yeah, I will work on that. And I'll send
And send me all the photos because I want to see.
I will.
I love that. Well, I mean, we didn't get to uncover the mystery just yet, but we can keep revisiting this anytime.
It's coming.
And that's it for today's episode. Until next time, stay curious.
Stay mystical.